The Unearthing History update is on its way, and this not only will bring with it the code for Belisarius Prime, I assume, but also it's got some really sneaky little things in here that will be easy to overlook, but actually completely change the way we play the game. Oh, and by the way, new museum exhibit for Attila. Oh god, new levels of pain are on their way in Rise of Kingdoms. Stick around in this video for everything you need to know. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and I'm hyped for the Unearthing History update. Apparently, Museum Day is a thing, and it's right around the corner. Now, the funny thing is that I kind of would expect to get a lot of museum currency and exhibit currency, although that's not actually mentioned here. So we'll see if that's a thing we're getting. I hope it is, because spoiler alert, Attila in the museum is going to be nuts. So first up, Esmeralda's Prayer. It's a wheel-like event. It is generally pretty high value, and usually there's a city theme that's pretty easy to get for a small amount of gems. So I'll review those city themes, and we'll see how they look. Esmeralda's Collection. Try your luck and win some of Esmeralda's riches. Sharp Eyes, Quick Hands puzzle event. Honestly, I find it somewhat relaxing. Race against time. You smash a bunch of barbs in a time limit, and you're, competing against your kingdom. And the Triarch Trouble. 3 armies meet in a struggle for dominance. Who will emerge? The hegemon. This is actually new. So we'll be very curious to see what that looks like. All right. Now, they say the rewards for Esmeralda's Prayer have been adjusted. For kingdoms in the Season of Conquest, engineering blueprints have been added to the list of rewards. All right. So, hey, here's the thing. If the developers want us to do engineering, which they put it in the game because they want us to do it, then we need access to the stuff. I need a lot of access to the stuff because, there's no way to reverse the fact that I've made 7 legendary sets of equipment other than eating the fattest L of my life in terms of the material loss. So if the cost is extraordinarily through the roof to make a switch, they've got to do stuff to lower that cost to make it interesting to swap, especially since you can't swarm a garrison with engineering stuff. So as a whale, I will probably never do engineering, not because it won't trade well in the field, but because I can't swarm a garrison with it. And the switching cost is through the roof. So anyways, they say, see the event calendar for details. Great. Osiris League and Osiris Optimization. Match spectators can now view the details of both teams' skill bars. Added pro mode for spectators. While pro mode is enabled, you will not be able to see the skills both teams have equipped until they're used for the first time. In addition, you'll not be able to see skill cooldown times, skill availability, and both teams' skill energy reserves. So that makes sense to me. The pro mode for spectators. When rewatching Ark of Osiris and Osiris League matches, pro mode can be toggled on or off. When spectating an ongoing time delayed match, pro mode will be enabled by default. Okay, cool. This is actually very good. All this is very good. The time delay between matches and their live streams have been changed to 5 minutes. This is interesting because a sentry lasts longer than 5 minutes, so you can see where the enemy sentries are. I think this makes it, strictly speaking, correct to be spectating and see where the sentries are and then hunt and kill the sentries, or at least know where they are. That's a little bit weird. Lost Kingdom Optimization. Removed Now or Never, Barbarian Buster, Lord of War, Territory Grab, Strategic Reserves, and other such events from the Season of Conquest, Lost Kingdom. That is curious. These events I found were at times weirdly scheduled, if I'm remembering correctly. I remember giving feedback long ago where it's you have a kill event now, and there's literally no reason to be fighting other players. Why is this here? And I thought they had sort of changed that in a positive way to align it more with pass openings. So let's see here. They say the enemy elimination event will now occur 4 times per season. Previously it was 3, and its rewards have been adjusted accordingly. The above adjustments will only take effect in Lost Kingdoms that begin after the update. Yeah, so the enemy elimination event is actually cool when it actually times with when the pass is going to open. I feel like sometimes these are just scheduled with when they would happen before the Chronicle times change, and sometimes they're maybe mismatched. I could be misremembering. Maybe they're fine. But the enemy elimination event is extremely important. 1, it should encourage people to fight during the time when they're supposed to be fighting, not random times. Second of all, the enemy elimination event is really cool to look at who's on the kill leaderboard. Kill leaderboards are freaking sweet. People play more because of the leaderboard. So I really like more enemy elimination events. And I also really like being able to see who's at the top of the list, man. So cool. So cool. Lost Kingdom view optimization. Added battle hotspot tips. Lost Kingdoms with ongoing PvP combat will be given a special tag. In addition, the location of ongoing PvP battles and the alliances involved will be marked on the map. So this is a feature taken from Call of Dragons. Call of Dragons does this beyond well. It's insane. Like, you open up a map for another season that you're trying to spectate, and it'll be like, the fighting is here, and it's like, you know where to go, you know where to look. The only thing that's weird is I feel like in Rise of Kingdoms, when people spectate, it causes lag. So like, I don't want people to spectate. So there's a little bit of weirdness here where like inherently spectating should be cool. And also I am pretty sure the more people spectating, the more lag it creates. I could be wrong. When viewing other Lost Kingdoms, you can change which camp's perspective you're viewing the map from. If you switch your perspective to a certain camp's, all information related to that camp's troops will be shown in blue. Very poggers. This is what I was saying. Like, this update has a bunch of things that I've been asking for literally years that I think will make playing and enjoying the game way better. Like, now it's just not a bunch of gray crap on the screen. I don't mean to be rude, but it's like a bunch of dots. You can't tell what's what. Spectating is like kind of hit or miss. But this is cool. Strategic view mode will no longer show governor, avatars, and other such information. In addition, when viewing other Lost Kingdoms, avatars, quests, and other such information will not be shown. Okay. So I guess when I look at another kingdom, are they saying they're... I don't know what it means, governor's avatars. Is that like my little box in the upper left or whatever? Added the ability to collapse all interfaces in the strategic view with a single tap. Okay. Museum optimization. All right, so... it's museum day. So we should be getting museum stuff, and we are. Added exhibits for Attila and Takeda to the museum. Bro, let me tell you who doesn't need any help right now. It's Attila. We garrisoned with Attila and Gorgo, all right? And you know how insane that was. I don't need to keep saying how insane it was. The fact that Attila is about to get better is nuts. And there's going to be a new level of insanity for Constantine, Charles Martel, Alexander the Great, Richard I, and Pyrrhus. Now, this to me means that Alexander the Great is going to see new relevance. Charles Martel is already getting used as an anti-swarm option in the end game, so he becomes more relevant. Constantine already was seeing use with Gorgo in KVKs where you didn't have an artifact to use Attila. So, depending on how powerful these bonuses are, we see increased relevance of all these commanders. That is nuts. That's actually really nuts. And hey, look, if I'm the developers of Rise of Kingdoms, let me tell you something. The early game commanders should be relevant in the end game. They need to be relevant in the end game. The early game experience is not amazing if you are not able to invest in any legendaries because they all suck compared to the end game commanders, right? So buffing Richard I and Alexander, like all these early game commanders, makes a ton of sense. They should do more of this. They should be more aggressive with it to balance early game, late game. And the late game commanders should have effects that are really powerful that you'd want to use because that makes them better. Not just like they're so imbalanced because of power creep that you just use them. I'm not saying that's what it is necessarily, but like, you know, that's how I would design around that. The bonuses from Attila Relic will only take effect in the Lost Kingdom. This will be the case for all commander relics added to the museum in the future. I don't really know why they would do this. I guess what they're trying to say here is that they aren't going to work in Ark of Osiris. So like only new commanders for Ark of Osiris. It's like silly hats only. Only new commanders in Ark of Osiris. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe that's the reason for that. PC version optimization. Added the custom formation feature. You can now set up a temporary custom formation, allowing you to control all troops in the formation simultaneously. So I think we're using the word formation, even though we already have a formation system in the game, to make an actual formation. Today, the formation system is like, hey, look, your troops stand in a certain way within the march, but like, you know, there's some implications, but it's like it's not overly strategic. But I think this is to say, hey, wait a minute. So if I bring 5 marches on the field and I want someone to stand in the front, I guess, maybe I can control that. And this is something that the developers have put into Call of Dragons, which is why I think that's what they're talking about here. That is my suspicion. All right. From there, miscellaneous optimization, troop loadout customization. Oh, this is huge. Dude, this is so good. I've been asking for this for like a year, like literally like a year. All right. Let me explain. As someone who's in the end game, okay, who rallies and garrisons, if I want to rally, I got to switch my equipment. I got to switch my armaments. And you may think, oh, that's not such a big deal. Well, yeah, it is a big deal because in this game, we're talking about switching 8 pieces of equipment per commander I need to adjust. Plus, there's, 9 formations now. And in whatever formation I'm going from and to, I have to have presets figured out. And on each march that I'm changing, I got to change. So, typically when I switch in a garrison or a rally, I'm removing a field march. So I got to shift a whole bunch of crap around. Okay. And I'm not the only one who has to do this. So if you rally, if you counter rally, or you garrison, or even if you play Ark of Osiris, which you do, you switch to Canyon, you switch to open field. Everybody needs this. Literally, you just don't realize how much you need it, okay? You need this. And what it will do is it will make it so that you can save a troop you currently have configured in the troop dispatch interface as a troop loadout. As of this version, you can save up to 45 troop loadouts at a time. When saving a troop loadout, the armaments and equipment of the troop's commanders will also be saved. So I don't know what this means exactly or how exactly it would look. In my perfect world, there would be like one button I could push and it would be like, boom, here is my Gorgo garrison, everybody else field situation. Or here is my Gorgo garrison, plus I'm running a rally, plus I got 5 fielders. Or here's my Canyon lineup. Or here's my Ark of Osiris lineup. Right? And I can just toggle, boom, one button push, boom, everything switches. That's what I want. I hope that this is like that. And if it is, this is very poggers. Here's the thing about this game, okay? You can literally have 2,000 armaments in your inventory, okay? And for every commander, they can have 8 pieces of equipment. There's too much to manage. And to actually enjoy the fast-paced nature of KVK combat where like, hey, I need to swarm a flag right now. Like not tomorrow, like right now. Like swarm the flag. Oh, hold on. I just got to switch my armaments. Oh, hold on. I got to move my equipment. Right. Like you push a button. Boom. It's good that you can think about all these things in the off season, set them all up. And then when it's time to fight, you push the button, you do the thing, you have fun. I love this. This is going to be one of the most outstanding changes to the game if it's done well. I'm very hyped for this. Immigration optimization. It added advanced filters to the kingdom overview page. You can use these filters to quickly find kingdoms that match your specific criteria. All right. Open to Mightiest Governor Thief. Can I filter by that? Added the immigration status of your kingdom and other information to the Lost Temple's immigration management page. Okay. Added a new legendary quality engineering weapon, which can be obtained in the following ways. Blueprints for the new engineering equipment can be earned through the Holy Knight's Treasure and Hunt for History. After the update, reward chests from the Soroli Crisis, Golden Kingdom, Ian's Ballads have a chance to contain blueprints. So this is what I was saying where like, okay, like if you want us to do engineering, we need to be able to get the stuff. And it needs to be reasonable to get the stuff because there's a switching cost for anyone who's already made stuff. In the Season of Conquest Kingdoms, the epic quality blueprint fragments, choice chests, rewarded from Esmeralda's house, have been replaced with epic quality blueprint fragments, choice chests that include engineering. Oh, I was getting excited. I was like, bro, no endgame player needs this. And I was hoping we'd get something we need, but we don't. If you want to only get things you need from events, play Call of Dragons. Joking aside, the Wheel of Fortunes in Call of Dragons is amazing. Optimize the buff overview interface when dispatching a new troop. Buffs will now be sorted by type, a buff type and unit type. Okay. Edited the description of the Last Stand commander talent in the attack talent tree to include the talent's cooldown time of 2 seconds. This change is purely textual and does not impact the talent's actual effect. Dude, it's been 5 years since these talents have been in, and I didn't know that worked that way. Okay, interesting. Added commander stories for Theodora and Justinian. I think that means maybe some emojis. Added flags, alliance flags and fortresses currently under construction will now show the territory they control once they're complete, marked on the map using a dotted line. This is actually way better than you would think. The way that territory works when it's overlapping, but somebody builds first and somebody else builds second is like actually, there's nuance to it, I think. I don't know. And maybe I'm just mixing up all the different games I play now, but it should be very simple to see once things are finished, who will actually have the land. Hopefully this is not a confusion point in the future. Added mail notifications when appointing or revoking kingdom titles. Okay, I don't know that that overly matters to me personally, but all in all, a very cool update. And quite frankly, my enjoyment of the game will go up dramatically purely from not having to go in and set all these freaking presets and constantly move my stuff around between my equipment and my armament presets. Like, we shouldn't really need these equipment presets. We shouldn't really need the armament presets. What we need, I mean, they're helpful. I'm not going to lie. But what we need is that global thing where, like, when I want to field, right? Boom, switch. Oh, go back to canyon. Boom, switch. That way, like, I can actually enjoy these things that I've spent, like $10,000 per set of equipment on. Like, hey, yo. Right? Like, here's the thing. When I'm in KVK, once fighting starts, I never move my equipment off the fighting marches because it's too annoying. So basically I say, all right, Canyon, I don't care about you anymore, which is kind of a bummer because, like, Canyon is supposed to be a thing of relevance, but it can't be if you're actually, expecting to fight and don't want to spend 10 minutes checking and double checking and switching all your stuff. So very, very cool update. I'm excited for this. I am certainly looking forward to what Belisarius Prime might do, but we can talk about that more maybe tonight when I'm streaming. We're about to enter KVK, and hold up, let me pull up the Kingdom leaderboard. Bro, it is looking dicey up in here. I don't know if we're gonna make it. Like, we're number 1 now. I don't know if we're gonna stay number 1, but I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm gonna stream tonight. And, we enter KVK and buy all the bundles and do all the things. So if you want to check that out, subscribe to the channel. It should be pretty cool. This is my first KVK in 2268. Definitely looking forward to that. Hey, yo, the amount of points these guys have made up on these forts is... They must have so many farms, which means they understand how the game works, all right? You either make 100 million farms or you lose to 100 million farms. Take your pick, baby. Oh boy, this is going to get interesting. We'll see. Subscribe, and until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.